Hi guys, this is Kanhai and today I'm going to show you the new Street Triple S in India. This is one of the most awaited bikes by all the motorcyclists in India. The earlier motorcycle was a detuned version which was a big turn off for most bikers. However, this bike in this market comes with the same specs as the international model and it's absolutely a fantastic machine. I have had this for over 2 weeks now. I've been riding it in the city, on the highways, especially because this is my only bike and my first choice for commute. I've been riding it almost everywhere. So I'll give you a quick short review of what to expect when you buy a bike like this and what are the different changes, what are the key features, what is that I like the most, what could have been better and more. So let's get started. Now the first thing you notice when you get this or you see this bike is the new headlights. These headlights come directly from the Triumph Speed Triple 1050 and they look fantastic. They work amazing at night. They also have the new DRLs. I'll just show it to you. So you get DRLs, you get a new air intake up front, there is a headlight cowl. This gives a very different character to the bike. At first glance it looks like a Speed Triple, though it isn't. Next big change is the seating posture. Now I have been riding the earlier bike as well. In the earlier bike you feel kind of you're sitting on the bike. So every time you brake there's a lot of weight on your wrists. The faster you go, the heavier your handlebar is to turn. So it's a good in a way, but it's very stressing, especially for long commutes. However, in this motorcycle you sit kind of behind, more inside the bike, so your wrists have less weight on them while riding around. This makes it insanely fun to ride on the highways and very relaxing to ride in the cities as well. I used to ride a Duke 390 earlier. Now especially riding this motorcycle for over 2 weeks, I feel this motorcycle is way more comfortable than the Duke 390. Next big change you will see is the instrument cluster. Like the headlights, this also comes from the Speed Triple. Now unlike what Triumph has been claiming and most people are expecting, the Street Triple S gets a LCD screen while the R and RS get a TFT screen. Though I hope they could have given the TFT to S as well. However, the new cluster is not bad. It gives you loads of information display. I'll be just covering that up in a short while. Most of the features on the screen can be controlled from here, from the information display button and the mode button. The new motorcycle gets 2 modes, rain and road. I'll be giving you the differences soon. All in all, I think the bike is fantastic. The cluster though could have been better, or the TFT screen would have been great. However, that's nothing to complain about. Next big thing you will notice, it's not a big thing as such, but you see the tail is very similar to the old model, except for these little scoops. And I think the grab rails stick out a lot more. Triumph could have done a better job with concealing them and making them look as a part of the motorcycle. Here they kind of look as add-ons to the bike. It's not a really big sore, however, could have been done in a better way. Another change in this motorcycle's design is the oil cooler. Now the earlier motorcycle had the oil cooler over here, which made it very vulnerable to speed breakers, humps, bad road patches, and that was like the biggest thing that would hit or take the first hit, and it was a big expense for maintaining that. The new bike has a shifted oil cooler that is over here, and that makes riding much easier. You don't have to really worry about speed bumps anyway, so you could just jump over a speed bump or go fast. That shouldn't be a problem. The new motorcycle also gets loads of electronics. I'll just show them to you. So here you have the information display button. This button basically changes your displays on the screen, so you can tap it to see your average speed, time, odometer, your trip distance. It also gives you your fuel mileage for the trip and also gives you live fuel mileage. This button is called the mode button. Basically this button helps you change the mode from road to rain. Now I've been riding the bike in both modes for quite some time. In rain mode what you get is basically at low RPMs there isn't much power, so the bike is not going to kind of break your neck or rush ahead. It's a very linear power. However, the moment you go above 7000 RPM, it just unleashes everything that it has been holding on to together. Don't be surprised if you get a power wheelie or something. On the road mode, the bike becomes much more aggressive right from 3000 RPM. You will feel the difference right away if you're changing modes or you've been riding this motorcycle for a long time. And it feels absolutely fantastic. Another major difference is the throttle is much more crisp. In rain mode, the traction control is on by default. You cannot switch it off. In road mode, you have an option of whether you want the traction control to interfere or you don't want. Personally, I love the electronics. I do not mind having a safe bike unless I'm going in for a race or some stunting, which I don't do much on this motorcycle. So nothing to complain about. However, there are a lot of people who do not like electronics. Unfortunately, if you don't want traction control, you have to keep riding it in the road mode. Rain mode, it's on by default, but it doesn't really interfere much, especially with tires like this. You don't really lose grip. The new motorcycle has slightly superior braking as compared to the earlier bike. You get Nissin calipers, Brembo discs in the front, and Brembo discs along with Brembo calipers at the back. To be honest, superbikes, it doesn't really matter. It's 80% of your braking depends on the front brakes. So the rear brakes are just there just in case. But the front brakes are doing a fantastic job. Absolutely insane considering the Indian traffic. They are really helpful. They personally saved me from crashing over 2 to 3 times already. And it's crazy. The new motorcycle also gets DRLs. However, I do not see the point of having a DRL if your headlight is always going to be on, because you can't really see them when riding or in the daytime. However, they stay on as your parking lights when your bike is in parking mode, which is a good feature, especially considering if you're riding on a highway, you have a lot of breakdowns, you stop next to a highway often. Parking lights are important. The new motorcycle also gets new suspensions. As you can see, there's a reservoir suspension here. In the front you have Showa suspensions. They have been doing a fantastic job. Really really help you in absorbing the bumps on the way, especially after riding this bike and riding the old bike after this. You do notice the difference. All in all, I would say this bike is really good. A little pricey as compared to the competition, the Z900, the Yamaha and everything, but it's nothing that this bike is not offering. Probably the new traction control and the riding modes are an add-on which other motorcycles do not offer. If I would recommend this bike definitely for people who are looking for a bike for daily commute. If you have a lot of bikes or if you have an alternative option for commute, it makes sense to buy a superbike with a full fairing or a more aggressive bike only for weekend rides. However, this motorcycle is my primary choice of commute, so it's a very good companion. They could have priced it a lakh less or so. The fit on finish on this bike is absolutely insane. I have never seen a finishing so well. If you could see the details. When you see this bike, there will not be a single part that you will say, hey, this could have been done in a better way. I really like the effort that Triumph has put in. You have a transparent oil reservoir over here. Very good fit and finish on the headlights. Especially this is the first thing that should vibrate or loosen up if you're on bad roads. However, I haven't seen anything like that yet. The mirrors come from the old Street Triple. The RS gets bar and mirrors, which look good, but I don't really see the point. I'll just give you a quick exhaust note. Now the earlier bike was way more silent than this bike. This exhaust is slightly louder. I like the exhaust really, but I prefer smooth exhaust, silent exhaust. Loud exhaust is really not my thing. This exhaust is somewhere between the old stock Street Triple exhaust and the Arrow. It has a growl to it. Also, this motorcycle makes a good noise when you're in motion. The intake makes one noise and the silencer gives you the second one. So this is what it sounds like. This is where the intake sounds comes from. So it's a sweet sounding machine, as you can see. Not really loud. I do not think I'll be upgrading to a Arrow anytime soon. Probably when the bike gets over 5,000 kilometers or something. But for now, this bike is a fantastic combo. I still have to put in the crash guards, which is a must. And other than that, I don't think I'll be making any changes. So if you're looking for a Triumph Street Triple S, go for it. Do not consider any other motorcycle, especially if, like I told you, if you're going to use it every day. It's a very light package, weighs the same as any other Indian motorcycle, gives you 3 times the power, amazing road tires, beautiful grip, beautiful power delivery, kick-ass braking, and the seating posture is very comfortable. Touring should not be a problem on this bike. So there it is. If you like my review, do subscribe. If you have any other doubts, please feel free to send me a message on YouTube. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. For now, I think this is like the first bike in India and probably the first review from a biker himself, other than the channels or the big media houses. So I'll keep you posted as to what happens with this bike. Till then, ride safe, enjoy your ride, and oh yes, I'm going to enjoy mine. Cheers. Bye guys.